Okay then, let's get this gearbox out. Got our gearbox jack in here. I'm in excruciating back and shoulder pain, so apologies for all the sound effects. I'd say this would definitely be the last conversion I do on the flat on my back in a wet driveway. Anyway, enough of my complaining. Let's go make this happen. So I've got all but 2 of the bolts out. This baby's cranked up to support the gearbox. This strap is the stupidest thing ever, as there's no way to tighten it when a gearbox is actually in the car. I'm going to have to modify that. I'll weld it on here or something like that for the next one. Anyway, let's go see if we can get out last of those studs and see if this thing is going to work for me or not. Okay. Okay, too old for this shit. There it is. That's it, alright. That's our last one. Yeah. Another goddamn rusted head job. Now, question is, when I roll back this, oh yeah, gearbox jack, jammed on something or what? There it is, that's it. Wow, that worked. That's amazing. I didn't think that was going to work. I know I'm doing Cyclops thing here, but hey, it worked. Okay. Alright. That is better than I anticipated. Hope you guys can see this. Not exactly doing a Cecil B DeMille today, I know. And again, I never do. So, okay. There's something holding it up there. I think it's just caught on the frame of the car. There it is. That's back now. So, I should be able to lower it down, which I won't do. Well, I might do with the impact. Yeah, screw it. Okay, I'm liking this gearbox jack, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna put the impact into the drive on the bottom of this thing. You know. Okay, so just gone ahead and refilled the 6-speed with some of my super expensive fully synthetic gear oil. Took about a gallon of this, and that's significantly more than what came out, so that does worry me somewhat. So 5 speeds out. That also has some of my super expensive gear oil in it, so I'll probably drain that out before I get rid of this gearbox, and just keep it separately for other purposes. So next up, we can do a bit of machining. This is the coupler we just removed from our motor. This end here is fine. This mates up to the Siemens motor, but this end that mates up to the gearbox needs to have a different clutch spline, because the splines on the ZF are very different to the splines on the G-Track. So we're going to have to do is a bit of work here. We're going to need to sand off the welds here and get this guy out. Then I'm going to set up a mandrel on my lathe that I'm going to machine this mandrel so that it'll fit in here very, very snugly. So this will simulate the motor shaft, so we'll have this bolted on, and then we will machine this end to accept the new clutch center. Get it all nice, tack it up on the lathe, make sure it's doing what it needs to do, and then we can weld it up and fit it to the motor, and hopefully it spins through. So once we have all that done, we can look at getting the gearbox back in, getting the 6-speed back in, and starting to sort out the linkages and crossmember. Okay, so we're at the lathe now, and we are getting set up to machine our coupler modifications. Now, in order to do that properly, we need to chuck the coupler from the actual splines on the motor side. Now, unfortunately, my lathe doesn't have the ability to do that because it can't get the chuck down small enough to go inside there. So how we remedy that is we use a mandrel. And this is what we have here. A mandrel is quite simply a piece of material that we turn down to represent the major diameter of the splines in the motor shaft. So what I've done here is that's what I've done. I've taken this down so it is just a very, very nice slip fit on there. We've polished this surface up, and I hope you can see the clock needle there. There's virtually no deflection in it at all. As I rotate the piece of work around. So we've also drilled and tapped an M8 hole here. So we're going to go ahead now and get the coupler on here so we can machine it up. Stay with us. Okay. Get our coupler, and that should just be a nice slip fit on there, which it is. And we now want to get the bolt that was with the coupler. Don't tell me that's still in the coupler, is it? No, shouldn't be. M8 bolt into the middle of that now. And we'll be all right. Now it's very important that this guy is tight, because otherwise we won't be able to drive the coupler around on the lathe. I suppose we get in like that. No, unfortunately not. So I'm going to have to get a socket. Alright, up close and personal. Let's hit that with some anti-spatter. That's the worst tack weld I've ever done. That's enough. Oh yeah, I think we're looking good. Hope so, anyway. Okay, after a lot of work on the lathe, and this is where I'm at. You can see the clock probably deflecting about 2 or 3 lines on the clock over a complete rotation of our clutch disc. So now I just have to weld this up in such a way that we don't cause ourselves any more deflections, and fingers crossed we're okay. I think we got it. Let me give you guys a bit of extra light here. That's max speed on the lathe. And this baby's rock solid. Not getting any vibrations. The clutch spline is running exactly as it should. I can even kind of hold the camera with it here. Just let my finger rub on it. If there's any vibrations in that, it would be very obvious. Alright you guys, time for a quick update. Good bit gone on since the last installment. We got the gearbox in. Well, it's bolted up to the adapter plate, and we are looking to get the Crossmember on. That's our next move. So we had a bit of a problem in that the bolt pattern is the same, but there's a rotation of about 10 degrees to the right, clockwise when looking from the drive shaft flange on the bolt pattern. So our gearbox, we had to rotate it about 10 degrees clockwise. So that means that our gear linkages and stuff like that are going to be somewhat more problematic, but we can handle that. So what I'm doing at the minute is I've been making the new Crossmember, and I think has turned out quite well. I'm just hanging it out of the ceiling here so I can put some paint on it. It's made solely out of 50 by 10 millimeter flat steel, so welded up quite nicely there with the new welder. Sanded it all down, rounded out the welds and the corners. I'm just hitting it now with some heavy duty rust proofing paint, and we'll be getting that guy on. And when we have that done, then we're going to be having a look at the gear linkages. And my drive shaft guy telephoned me. The drive shaft is done, it's ready. I just have to drive over there and pick the thing up. So yeah, the weather's been a bit of a pain too, but other than that, we're getting on with it. Probably be more photo updates on Instagram than video, but yeah, that's about what we're doing at the minute. So next thing we're going to do is going to jump under the car and see if this Crossmember fits. Let's do it. Alrighty, so we are now under the car, and I've just fitted the Crossmember. So here we go, guys. Let's get you a better view. She's bolted up to the chassis of the car on both sides with 3 8 by 25 stainless bolts. Turned out really nicely. We were able to use the existing E60 mounting on the gearbox, which I have to say is a lot nicer than those on the E39 or the E36. So now I've got to sort out the linkages. That'll be for the next exciting installment, but yeah, there you go. Gearbox is in and spinning away lovely. So alrighty guys, thanks for staying with me. Hope you're enjoying this particular series, and we'll be back next time. Now we'll have the linkages, and then we'll be fitting the drive shaft, and hopefully then we'll be actually driving. So check out my Please check out my Instagram at EVBMW, and you'll see some more photos and quicker updates there than we're going to see on YouTube. And we'll see you all next time, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and Happy driving.